Hey gang, today we're multiplying or dividing terms with radicals. When multiplying or dividing terms with radicals, operations are done with like parts of each term. Numbers outside the radical are multiplied or divided, and numbers inside the radicals are multiplied or divided. This should say are here. Multiply or divide the following. State whether the simplified answer is rational or irrational. Let's do the odds together. So in this case, like it says, we multiply the like parts. So we can do 12 times 12, which makes this the square root of 144. And hopefully right away you recognize that the square root of 144 is 12. So by multiplying two of the same radicals together, it cancels out the radical because you're multiplying two numbers together, which makes a perfect square. So since we just have a whole number left over, this is a rational answer. All right, on to number 2. So same thing here, we multiply like parts. So 2/3 times 9 and then 24 times 3. Well, 2/3 of 9 is 9 divided by 3, which is 3, times 2, which is 6. And then 24 times 3 is 72. Now, 72 is not a perfect square, and it does have a perfect square factor. So we're going to simplify that. So this is 6 square root 36 times 2. Hopefully you know that 2 times 36 is 72. Then the square root of 36 is 6. So this is 6 times 6 square root 2, leaving me with 36 square root 2. Now, I have a square root left over, so this is irrational. Okay, let's take a look at number 4. Here again, multiplying the like parts, we get square root of 1600. Now, 16 is a perfect square, and I have 2 zeros. So since the square root of 16 is 4, it makes sense that the square root of 1600 is 40. But we can check by doing square root 1600. And sure enough, we get 40. And we could have also just done square root 200 times square root 8 to check our work. And again, we get 40. So since we're left with a whole number, we have a rational answer. All right, let's keep going. Number 7. So now we're dividing, and again, we divide like parts. So we're going to do 72 divided by 2, which is 36. So we get square root 36. And like we saw before, square root of 36 is 6. Again, we have a whole number answer. So again, our answer is rational. On to number 9. Again, dividing, so we divide the like parts. 150 divided by 3 is 50. So we have square root 50. 50 is not a perfect square, but we know that it's 25 times 2. Taking the square root of 25, we get 5, and we're left with radical 2. Since we're left with a radical, our answer is irrational. Okay, on to number 11. Now we have a little bit more of a challenging problem, but remember a fraction bar is like a division bar. Okay, right away, just looking at this, keep in mind this is not rational until you simplify it. You have to be able to simplify it and then write it as a fraction. So just because it looks like a fraction now does not mean it's rational. So we have 12 divided by 3, which is 4, and then 20 divided by 5 also gives us 4. So we have 4 square root 4. Square root of 4 is 2, so it's 4 times 2, making our final answer 8. Therefore, this is also rational because we don't have a square root left over. So you guys are now going to try the evens on your own. Check in with me to make sure you've got them all right before moving on to today's exit ticket.